Let me know when you all are ready. Yep. Booker, Booker, Hodges, Hodges. I'm the Chief of Police for the city of Bloomington. All right, so I'll get started. So around 12:02 this afternoon, individual had called the mall dispatch center and informed them that they had seen a male walking around the mall with a rifle. Now in Bloomington, the way we're set up is our dispatch centers work seamlessly together with that of the mall. But the person, the Good Samaritan, had called the mall. And the important thing for me to say here is, if people see something, say something. And that's what they did. And we are so grateful that they did that. So at that point, the mall began to put together a reactionary force, a reactionary team, and they followed the suspect on camera. He was walking through the mall rather nonchalantly. And this is why a lockdown was not called, because we didn't want to escalate the situation because he just was walking through the mall rather nonchalantly. So while walking through the mall, he went to a kiosk and he robbed one of those little mechanical puppy dogs. He stole one of those. And then after that, he proceeded to walk into the lid store where he pulled out his rifle and he demanded that they started putting jerseys in a bag. I'm not going to get into any security details at the mall, but let's just say a team was ready to address him at that point. As he was proceeding to get jerseys put into a bag, once he exited the store, he was met by the reactionary team, and they took him into custody without incident. I cannot overstress enough how great the mall security and our teams work together. This incident was done. No one got hurt, and the outcome is what we would like to see. But the individual today, Mr. Cartier Troy Alexander, 28 years old, out of Woodbury. He has a valid permit to carry, and he decided that he was going to rob the mall with a loaded rifle, and he wanted a jersey. Well, we got a jersey for him. We locked him up today. So he came here wanting a jersey. This is the one he's leaving with. And I'm glad nobody got hurt. But we learned later that prior to this, he had allegedly robbed a Twin Cities pond in Minneapolis prior to coming to the mall. So right now he is in custody and he is going to be charged with armed robbery for what he did today. He has no criminal history at all. He has no criminal history and he has a valid permit to carry a firearm. So with that, I will take questions.
Who called to initially report? Was this just someone who was in the mall with this, someone who worked at the mall?
It was a citizen. Yep, a citizen. So he walked in on the east entrance at the mall on floor number 3, and he walked by a group of citizens, and one of them got their phone out and called mall security dispatch.
So when he came in, the long-arm rifle was visible, or was it not?
So he was walking nonchalantly, so he had the rifle at his side, right? So he walked by most people, and most people were oblivious that he was walking by them with a weapon.
But it was physically out.
Yeah.
It wasn't like he had it concealed in something and then got to the lid store and took
Yep.
it out.
So the question that he's asking, and I'm just doing this for the people online, is that was he walking with the rifle visibly out? Yes, he was. But said he walked by a lot of people, and one person called. So I'm glad the one person decided to call, because again, it's see something, say something, and I can't overstress enough. From the time this call came in, he was in custody within 8 minutes, and the reactionary team there took him into custody, and no one got hurt. For someone walking around the mall with a gun, and I'm going to go back to, he wanted to rob jerseys. He got one today. We locked him up, and that's what's going to happen if people want to keep committing crimes here. The mall did a great job, again, and I just can't overemphasize how grateful I am that no one got hurt in this incident today.
Chief, what type of weapon did he have? I know you said a rifle, but
Yep. It was like a AR-15 style rifle with a pistol grip,
and it was loaded.
and it was loaded.
Do you know exactly how many rounds of ammunition were in that?
Not yet. Nope, I haven't gotten that far in the investigation.
The other element of this too is he had a vehicle at the mall, correct? I know there was maybe some early rumblings that he might have had more weapons inside the vehicle. Can you speak to that at all?
Yeah, so the question is, did he have a vehicle? We did seize his vehicle, and we're in the process of inventorying that, and we can let you know what we find in there, because I think our detectives are getting a search warrant for his vehicle right now, so I don't know what they found in there as of yet.
You said it wasn't even, 3 weeks ago when we were at the shooting at the mall, 2 weeks back, and you made some comment then where if someone has bad intentions and they come to the mall with a gun, what can you do? I mean, this is the second incident with a weapon we've seen in the mall in less than a month now.
Yes.
I mean, where do we go from here?
So the question is, where do we go from here? And again, I'm going to repeat what I said. My wife and kids were on their way to the mall, and they ended up going to the mall today around the time of this incident. And the mall is still a safe place, but again, if someone has a weapon and they're just bent on doing something, I don't know what we do in any venue to stop that. I don't. I haven't figured that out. But I can tell you this, for him to come and do this after allegedly robbing a pawn shop in Minneapolis, he comes to Bloomington wanting jerseys. This is the jersey he's going to get.
Can you talk a little bit, I mean, obviously there was the robbery that happened, but you got this call because someone saw him with this rifle walking through the mall. He had a permit to carry, but we know what the mall's policy is on weapons. Can you kind of talk about the decision-making behind, okay, we're gonna have this team kind of follow him through the mall and the response before we even got to the robbery?
Yeah. So the response basically, obviously, to come into the mall with a rifle isn't normal. So at that point, someone would have asked him to leave. But the fact that he had robbed the kiosk of the little puppy, little robotic puppy, kind of indicated what he was trying to do. So the decision, and I agree with it, was to follow him with the reaction team and set stuff up so they could take him into custody without incident. I mean, obviously in law enforcement, our goal is to de-escalate every situation. No cop wants to come to work and kill somebody, and I am just thankful that that didn't happen today.
What does that reactionary team look like? I mean, are there several people that are involved in this? Because this could have gone, as you mentioned, could have gone a different way in terms of what is possible.
Yep. So that's security details. I'm not trying to be that person, but security details, and I'm not going to discuss that with the public. And the reason for that is things are in place to ensure that the mall is the safest it could possibly be. And, just these people who attempt to do these things, we don't want to give them any indication of what our security measures are to prevent them from doing it.
So how do you reassure people? I mean, you keep having the conversation about, there's not much you can do, but there are people who are saying, I'm hesitant to go to the mall right now, given the recent incidents and going back to New Year's, and what is your message to people about what the presence is?
So your question is, what is, the message regarding the presence at the mall, and, what do I say to people? Same thing I say to my wife and kids. I mean, the mall is safe, and I do believe that. Now, trust me, my most valuable assets is my wife and kids, and I wouldn't have them going to the mall if I didn't feel it was safe. And it's just, we just choose not to live in fear. And I know, unfortunately in this job, I have to, a lot of times, be cognizant to these issues that are going on, but I just choose not to live in fear is the message that I would give people.
And then, Chief, you made a mention, this person has no criminal history.
None.
They have a licensed firearm. You come in contact as a law enforcement officer with all kinds of people. This guy, it sounds like, kind of gave himself up pretty easily once you got to him.
Oh, well,
Can you describe that?
so he came out of the store and he was tackled. He didn't have the opportunity to do anything else but get tackled.
Do you have any idea what's going through a person's mind like this at this point, or what would cause or be a motive, or why someone would do this when this is seemingly out of the blue for this person?
So the question is, what's the mindset, or what would cause someone to do that? I think if I figured that out, I'd be a very rich person. I have no idea what this person was thinking when they decided to do this. Only they do, and we haven't gotten it that far yet. So maybe during the course of the investigation, that may be revealed.
And then do you know what was taken during the robbery at the pawn shop? Was that also an armed robbery?
Yes, my understanding is the robbery at the pawn shop was also an armed robbery, and when he was tackled, jewelry fell out of his pocket. So I'm assuming that he stole jewelry from the pawn shop, but I don't know that yet at this point.
Do you believe that his intent, do you have any indication, that his plan was to rob X amount of stores, or was there any possibility he could have had other plans?
So the question is, did he have intent to rob other stores or other plans? I don't know. The nonchalant manner in which he walked around the mall with the gun, and I'm pretty sure what happened in Minneapolis too at the pawn shop is just frightening that someone would think to do that. And quite frankly, I don't know.
My last question, Chief. You talked about not wanting to kind of cause a panic or a stir by issuing a lockdown. Can you speak to that at all? When you know you have eyes on someone that has a weapon, but you don't want to kind of incite fear or panic around kind of how you balance that? Because this is someone with a loaded AR-15 at this point.
Yep. And so here's the reason for not doing that. He's walking nonchalantly through the mall. If you call a lockdown on the speakers, people start running, and then what happens if he decides to take that gun out and start shooting people, right? There was a team in place to address him had he done that. Obviously, the goal is to end this without anybody getting hurt. He's walking through the mall nonchalantly with this rifle. The plan was to follow him, and once he got into the store, the area was cleared, so when he came out, the apprehension could take place. Like I said, within 8 minutes, he was in custody from getting that call.
But you are confident through the investigation so far that his intention was to rob, not to go in some mass shooting aspect or something. I think that's where everyone's.
Yeah. So the question is, based on everything we see right now, asking what his intention was, I believe that his intention was just to rob. Just the same thing he did at allegedly did at the pawn shop in Minneapolis before driving to the mall and deciding that he was going to do this here. So we don't have anything at this point to indicate that he was going to do anything other than rob the mall.
Was there any alert that went out to businesses or vendors at the mall to just kind of say, hey, heads up, we're tracking this guy? And
No. And like I said, the reason, and I just want to be clear for everybody, we didn't want to escalate the situation, right? Again, if something would have happened, people would have been there to address it. But if you do that and people start running, and then now say his intentions change and now you got a rifle full of people out there, the best thing to do was to allow him to walk around and make sure that people were in place to deal with him should need be, and that's what happened today.
last question for you is just, I know we've talked about this, recently. You are not someone who thinks that there should be metal detectors at the doors of Mall of America, correct?
I don't believe so, but that's a discussion or a decision that obviously the mall has to make. Yeah, I mean this one, and I'm trying to contain my dissatisfaction with this one. I just don't understand why someone would do this. I don't, and that's just kind of the frustration that I have right now.
And in the last press conference, I know that you had said, our security is the same as it's always been. We're going to continue doing the job we've always been doing. The mall kind of said, no, we're stepping up security. So can you provide clarification on
Yeah, so our security posture remains the same. And those security, that worked flawlessly today. And if you knew me personally, I wouldn't normally say something works flawlessly, but this one, I mean, he went into that store, they cleared the hallway, he came out, he got tackled. 5 years ago, he probably gets shot, right? I mean, he gets tackled, right? So right now, he's wearing the jersey that he didn't want, but he got, and he's still alive, and we don't have any police officers or security officers or citizens that are hurt.
And is that team that was following him, are they all members of Bloomington PD, or are they members of mall security?
This was a mall security team.
Entirely?
Yes.
That took the action.
Our officers were there, but the initial following was the mall security team.
And then just for clarification, what is the
So the Mall of America has a policy of no firearms. That is, so the question was, what's the mall's policy for firearms? The mall has a policy that firearms are not allowed. So I'm going to use this as an education opportunity because I know a lot of folks are concerned about this. So say he came in with the rifle, no ill intent, just open carry, and I'm strongly suggesting that people do not do this. He would have been approached had he not, robbed the first kiosk and asked to leave. And if he chose not to leave, then, legal action could take place. But that would be the normal procedure in these areas because the Mall of America is a private business, and they do have those signs posted that guns are not allowed.
I was just trying to think of a sporting goods store that would even sell like a rifle or something like that, but I can't think of any in the mall.
No.
Because they used to have the one on the first floor, I remember, but
Yep.
anyways, okay.
And so it was the mall security team that did the tackling as well?
Yes.
Wow, thanks, Chief.
Thanks. Thank you for coming.